Everyone, I'm MrGamingGuitarist, and we are here to review the Arrow Season 5 mid-season finale. So, of course, it will be full spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode tonight, then don't watch this review unless you don't care about spoilers. So anyways, this episode was titled What We Leave Behind, and so far I can say this is the turning point where I thought season 3 of Arrow was good from, season 3 until the mid-season finale. I thought season 4 of Arrow was good until the mid-season finale, and then, okay, I'm sorry. The mid-season finales for seasons 3 and 4 were great, but everything that came after is when the sharp decline and when the show started pissing me off so much, and I just stopped caring, and yet I don't stop watching because it feels like I've been committed to this show for far too long to just stop, so I'm in it for the ride, the good and the bad. And so I'm scared now because traditionally for the past 2 years, this is when the show will start going downhill. Everything after here. But I'm hoping that it strays from that path and that it can go back to like season 1 and 2 again, where it can stay consistently good throughout the entire season. I hope to God it stays like that, where it's good instead of bad. Now that I got my worries out of the way, I thought this was a really good episode. Of course, nothing can top the 100th episode because was just incredible to watch. But so let's get into it. I really like that they got the stuff with Evelyn being a traitor out of the way, and it's like it didn't really have that many consequences. I thought that would have been a much bigger deal than it actually was, but they seem to really have brushed that under the rug. It's like, oh, okay, Evelyn is working with Prometheus now. Okay, bye. That's how it felt. That's how it felt like they dealt with that. But anyways, I like that how Thea mentioned the stuff in, I've got the Queen blood in me, so of course we can throw great Christmas parties because, I remember missing the Queen holiday parties from the first 2 seasons at the Queen Mansion. So it was nice to see that happen at the City Hall. I thought it was funny at first, seeing Felicity trying to hide Felicity and Curtis trying to hide. I think Curtis's husband is Paul. Yeah, I thought it was funny them trying to hide from Paul what they were really doing all those late nights out and all that stuff. So I thought it was really funny that what's her name? Susan. Yeah, that when Susan kissed Oliver just there at the party in front of Thea, and then Thea just walked away, showing her disapproval. So, anyways, but then of course we end up finding out that Prometheus is actually, oh god damn it! Now, damn, we find okay. I just remembered what the guy's name was from the flashbacks, and then all of a sudden I forgot. I think it was Jason Claiborne, I think. Jason Claiborne was the guy on the list. And I have to mention that I really enjoyed seeing flashbacks to season 1 where we got to see the hood again, and we got to see the basement of Verdant again for quite some time back when it was just Ollie and Diggle. That was nice to see. It was a nice moment. It kind of reminds me of back when I loved the show. Sorry to keep jabbing at it, but I don't know. I can't help myself. But anyways, and I also really enjoyed seeing Felicity back when she was just, back when, oh god, what the hell is his name? Colin Salmon. What the fuck was his name? Back when Walter was her boss, when she was working down at the IT department again. It was nice flashback. So it's like, oh shit, this is back when when Felicity used to be a well-written character. Well, they've done a lot of improvements with this season, but you know, back when she was at her peak of good dialogue in season 1. But anyways, but I did like how the transition into the flashbacks was the red pen, and I remember Oliver mentioning back in season 3 when Oliver and Felicity had their first date, back when I thought that the idea of Felicity was going to be okay, and then before it quickly went downhill, they used the red pen, and I distinctly remember Oliver saying, you were holding a red pen, so it's like they showed that back in significance again. So anyways, what else do I have to mention? I have to mention that I thought that in addition to the flashbacks being really well done, I think it was kind of fucked up the way that they killed Billy, because you thought that he would have stuck around longer, and yet you introduce him only to just have him killed by Prometheus by the mid-season finale. But I thought the way that they did it was really well done when we thought that Ollie was fighting Prometheus, and he went downstairs, and Prometheus tried to frame everything exactly the way it was, the way that he killed, the way that Oliver killed his father, and yet the way that he just, without hesitation, just put 3 arrows in him and then pulled off the mask, and then it was Billy. It's like Prometheus has become obsessed with Oliver to this point where he doesn't even, to the point where it's like he even studied everything about him. And it makes me wonder, at first there were a bunch of fan theories going around that Prometheus was going to either be Tommy or Oliver from the future, or Oliver from a different Earth or something. And I would have been way more hyped if it was that, instead of, it's just some guy's son that he killed from the list. While it is nice to see a throwback back to season 1 to the list, and I enjoyed those flashbacks, I'm not satisfied with finding out, it's just okay, I forget his name. Is it Jason Claiborne, Justin Claiborne, the guy from the list? I'll just use them interchangeably because I don't give a fuck. But anyways, so just because it's Claiborne's son. But so far, I do like the way that Prometheus has been handled. But, it's just a tiny nitpick. I could have wished it was someone other than who it was. But what I will say is it was nice to see. But I also really like that speech, when we find out. Because if this was back in season 3, and if Felicity and Oliver weren't dating, if it was back then, if this was season 3/season 4 Felicity, if she found out that Oliver was the one that killed Billy back with that season's writing of that character, she would have been pissed, and she would have hated Oliver for like the next 3 episodes, and we had to deal with 3 weeks of a bitchy Felicity. Thank God that's done, and she quickly realizes, no, Oliver, this is, even though I'm sad that you killed him, it's not you, it's Prometheus, and I'm glad they got that out of the way, and I'm glad that Oliver didn't try to hide it from her. He just completely just said it. And I also like that how he said, I think you should all get as far away from me as you can, and yet he just said, and I like that Diggle was the one that said, no, we're not leaving, we are right where we need to be. And so, that was good to see. Any other moments? I also like the way that it was shot. When Oliver went to Susan's apartment, and he is saying, when he was saying, everything I do, it brings nothing but, all I do is just hurt everyone I love. Anyone that's close to me, all I do is hurt them. And I like how it was showing the shots of of Curtis crying because Paul left him, and showing Felicity crying because Billy's dead. And then there was a third person crying, or was that it? Yeah, I think that was it. Yeah. Okay. That was it. So, well, I thought it was funny when Felicity was trying to make Renee and Rory use the DNA sequencer, and then Diggle says, "You've got this," and he just walks away because he's saying, "Fuck this! I don't want anything to do with this." But oh yeah, that's right. And then that last thing that they were showing at the end was Diggle showing up at the house, and Lila saying there's something wrong with JJ, and yet then I don't know who that was. Was that the army? Like, you just see all these men with guns with their lasers all pointed at Diggle. It's like, what the fuck is happening? So it's like, was Lila forced to bring Diggle to their house to set him up? I don't know what's going on, but what I will say is I am intrigued, and I will, and of course, because I'm stubborn, just when Oliver says, well, men don't listen because they're stubborn, and I am stubborn because I might be walking into a trap again of just nothing but disappointments for the back half of this season, but I hope it's good. And also, we have to talk about this. So, I'm glad that the last thing we see isn't tragedy, even though there were tragedies going on in this episode. I'm glad that the last shot we had, like, for example, like the mid-season finale ending, we see Oliver get murdered by Rachel Golan, off the mountain, and then season 4, it's Felicity presumably dead, but this time, it's not anything tragic. Instead, it's more of a miracle, and we don't know what fucking Lazarus pit she went to, but Laurel's alive. And, I've had my history of hating Laurel, but seeing her back in the 100th episode made me realize maybe I was a bit too harsh on her and felt bad after Damien Dark killed her, but after she's alive, now that she's alive, it just makes me think, is Sarah gonna find out about this in Legends of Tomorrow? We don't know. We've got no clue, because of course, the Wave Rider and the Legends, they're out, time traveling all the time. But I hope that this gets addressed in tomorrow's Legends of Tomorrow. I don't know, but anyways, yeah, lots of explanations that need to be said, because I can't think, and yet didn't Nyssa freeze the Lazarus pit with acid or something? So how exactly is Laurel alive? I don't know, but if anything, we know, because, this is all Warner Brothers here. DC is Warner Brothers. Who else is owned by Warner Brothers? The Looney Tunes. And Daffy Duck has been to hell about 100 times and has come back. So if Daffy never dies, then I guess no one in this universe ever, or I guess you could say no one in this multiverse ever truly stays dead. So anyways, it'll be interesting to have Laurel back and exactly why she's there, and it seemed very urgent why she was there. But we shall see exactly what will happen. So overall, I thought this was a really damn good mid-season finale for Arrow. Though I did think that the Three Ghosts episode of season 2, I thought that was really good. I don't know if that was the mid-season finale. Maybe it was. I don't know. But I really enjoyed that episode. But anyways. So, okay, yep, that's it. So I will see you for tomorrow's Legends of Tomorrow mid-season finale. And so overall, I will give this, I thought this was really good. So I'm going to give this episode let's see. Yeah, I will say I'm going to give this episode an 8.5, other than because personally didn't feel that satisfied with who Prometheus is, even though we never got to see his face, so they could be double, triple crossing us, throwing us for a loop. We don't know yet. But anyways, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe so you don't miss out on future videos from me. And you can also watch me on the N4G TV podcast on the N4G TV YouTube channel, and you can support my channel on Patreon. I would appreciate it. So anyway, all those links will be in the description below, and I will see you next time. Bye.